Okay, welcome to Conversations with My Little Bro, where I have conversations with my little bro. Uh, I think today we're going to be talking about longevity, doing things for the long term, mindset. Kind of like doing things for the long game, like the goal in life. So for those of you who are new, this is a podcast where I just have conversations with Jose. Jose is my little brother. I have another brother who lives in Chicago. We basically wanted to do the podcast because there's a lot of conversations that we've usually had on a daily basis, and we think that they're really interesting topics of conversation that we end up coming with ideas or end up coming with. Like projects that we'd like to do or ideas that we'd like to implement at some point in life. And I had the initiative that, hey, maybe we should document this so we can look back and just have something to show.
I mean, you also like Julian, or I don't know.
Yeah, Julian.
Julian, he learns by talking.
Yeah.
And so this is also another good way for him to just get some ideas out, learn some new things, because he usually loves this kind of conversations because he always gets something out of it.
That's right.
And I usually do too, but not as much as he does.
Yeah, so I'm a person that I have a lot of things in my mind, but until I'm talking, I don't come up with new things. Like I'm always gathering information from videos or books or whatever it is. But I never put it into practice or really learn it until I talk about it. So this is a way for me to learn that. And if as you will watch or hear the podcast, then you'll see me coming up with some ideas as I talk about how to solve certain issues that I have or people are having or etc. So, well, with that in mind, that was a lot of context into what the podcast is about. Now let's talk about what we were really going to talk about, which is longevity and the long game and mindset and all of that. So, if you know anything about Jose and I, then you know that we, for a fact, were not self-aware until about 3 to 4 years ago.
Yeah, we were just kind of going through life like everybody does.
On a day-to-day basis. No goals. I think we didn't really understand what life was about or how to get through life. You're supposed to live, 80, 90 years of age. But I had never thought about what I was going to be working in order to make, in order to make money. Where was I going to live? I had an idea and I'm like, I would like to live here, but I didn't have a how to or a blueprint or a plan as to how to get there. I don't know if you did.
No, I mean back when we became right before we became self-aware, I was just thinking I guess I go to college and after college I'll look for a job, just the usual.
Yeah, the usual go to school, middle school, high school, college, get a job after that, move into it's just the usual, the standard and the protocol for what most people think that they need to do. That over time has changed, and I think we were part of the wave of people that moved into changing that whole dynamic or that status quo. And the reason was because an ad, very famous ad in YouTube, made by Tai Lopez,
the meme himself,
in his garage with his Lamborghini and his books. I thought it was really interesting, and then I showed it to Jose, and then even though it looked a little bit like a charlatan, that ad moved us into checking him out, into his TED Talk and how he reads a book a day. Eventually, Jose started listening to his YouTube and watching his videos a lot about books and learning stuff. I stopped following him, and then Jose bought the 67 Steps from Tai Lopez.
It's funny because I remember I had the money and I was I had $50. And I was playing Hearthstone at the time, and I was I could buy a bunch of Hearthstone packs right now.
Hearthstone is a online game.
It's an online card game.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can buy more cards. And I was like, or I could. And I was like, no, I should just wait until I have enough money, then get the 67 steps, like I said I would. And I was like, reluctant. I'm like, screw it. If I don't do it right now, I know I'm gonna buy those packs. So I was like, I asked my parents, can I just borrow $17? And they're like, yeah, sure. It's like I pay for the rest, and then I bought it right there.
Yeah.
And imagine if I had just bought the packs.
Yeah, so
that would have been funny.
Very different life, but that program, I don't think it's for everybody. I thought it was for everybody, that everybody needed to go through that.
No,
but
I think the ideas in it everybody should like learn them, but I don't think everybody would learn them through Ty, because
Ty is a very particular guy.
Yeah,
I think at the beginning a little bit more easy to learn from him, but maybe over time.
If you see who Ty Lopez is now, it's very easy to just be like, like why? Like this guy just looks like another one of those Instagrams like hustle every day kind of thing. You just like but in those days,
like 4 years ago,
he looked like he was just focusing on like trying to teach people. Like,
Yep.
And now he's like a lifestyle.
His YouTube channel was all about. I mean, if you look up Ty Lopez YouTube channel, and I don't know if he still has the videos up, but if you go through the first videos, it's him teaching summaries about books that he has read.
Yeah, he would
and he reads a book a day. Sometimes he reads more than a book a day, 3 to 4 or 5 books a day. And he had like a list of the best books you should read, in which order you should read them, like a top 150 books. I think he had the second and now probably the largest book club in the world besides Oprah's. And like it was very informative, and that was what Ty Lopez was like 4 years ago. Now it's more like lifestyle and where he lives and the amount of businesses that he has, and he no longer teaches those courses. He has other people like doing affiliate marketing where they teach courses that he sells, which is fine. Just it's not the same Ty as before.
Yeah.
But going through his program, going through the 67 steps, which is 67 videos that you have to watch one every single day. I mean, you could watch them all in one single sitting, but it's a lot of information. I think it's better to watch one per day.
Yeah.
Can understand it. Maybe even one per week would also work. Because there's a lot of information in each one of them, and you can have the week to apply whatever you learn. Over time, the information, because if you watch it over and over again and repeat it, it kind of like brainwashes you. I mean, that's a bad term, but like it kind of makes you aware of your surroundings. It makes you aware like there's a lot of things in my life that I could change, that I could apply, that are good like lessons that could make me a better person, that they could push me towards having a certain goal to achieve. And with that being said, thanks to the program, I kind of set up a goal in life that I wanted to be financially independent, that I didn't want to work at Sony Music anymore, because I was a sound engineer and a video engineer at Sony Music, and I thought I wanted to follow more like an entrepreneurial path, like the standard millennial stuff, hey, I want to start my own business and stuff. I started going into sales, and then from sales, I did sales door to door, and then I do sales for a real estate company. And then like I've been slowly after that 3 years ago, where we went through the Ty program, slowly ramping up my achievements in life. I think like I have successfully climbed certain ladders, and like I've gotten through good things, and then I know myself more. I know my strengths, and then that plays as to what my longevity and my plan long term is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be financially independent. My goal would be to have like $10,000 or $12,000 per month that I can spend. It's a really big goal.
I mean,
and I would wish to retire in order to, with enough savings and enough investments, that I could live a $10,000 to $12,000 per month life. But in order for me to do that, it's going to take me till I'm about 80 years of age. if I do the math where I'm currently standing at my work, the way that I'm investing,
Right.
plus paying all my loans. So that means that, but that's the only mathematical way that I've gotten there. It's like, if I
Right.
want to live a $10,000 to $12,000 life, which sounds great, in order for me to do that at the rate that I'm going, doing what I'm doing, not changing my salary, just keeping my salary the same, not creating any new streams of income, and just investing the same way, I'll get there by 80 years of age. But I know that I'll get there,
Right.
right? And that makes me have a goal in life that I know I can achieve as long as I'm disciplined, and as long as I do the same things every day, and as long as I do what I need to be doing in order to get there, waking up at a certain time. Also, if I'm going to get to 80 years of age, for me to have that goal, I want to be able to enjoy my life at that point in time.
Right, which is
So-
why you exercise.
So I want to get to 100 years of age.
Oh.
So which is why I want to exercise, eat healthy, take care of my body, and play for the long term, because that's my goal. And then, I mean, that may not be the goal for everyone. That is specifically my goal.
Right.
But it's something that, like, now it gives my life a little bit of a meaning, whereas before the Thai program, I didn't have.
Okay.
It was very going through life. Oh, I work at Sony, and then like, oh, I'm so successful, and like, where am I gonna live? Doesn't matter. I'll get an apartment. I'll get in debt. I'll ask for a loan or whatever.
Right.
And then I would have followed into that. Maybe not a trap, but that another style of life.
Yeah.
And then now it's a more stoic kind of life, more like sacrifice current pleasure in order to, at some point in time, you'll get the reward. Now some people, they say it's like, oh, you never know if you're gonna get there, and I know that I may
Right.
never get there, and I might die or something could happen, so I should enjoy my life at the most right now. But enjoying my life at the most right now, knowing the stuff that I know with the Thai program and all the 67 steps, is very difficult. I cannot
Yeah.
enjoy my time right now because it doesn't make me happy. It stresses me out. It causes anxiety, and working towards the longevity, the long plan, the long term. I don't know. It's so satisfying.
Well, I mean, it is satisfying. I get what you mean, but I don't know. I feel like 80 years.
80 years of age.
You could speed it up there.
It's like I have to be 80 years old. I have a family and probably grandkids or whatever by that point in time. But I would be able to live another 20 years, from 20 to 100, enjoying my life.
Right, but I mean, let's say you get to live 10 of those years with good health. And 90, no matter how, I mean, you could exercise a lot. And you could maybe have an okay, like, last 10 years, but it'll be like, still, like, you couldn't do anything, like, athletic as much.
Yeah.
You're getting sick more often.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like it. It's like,
I think it's
at the end of the day, what I enjoy is not getting to the goal. I think I enjoy just the process of getting to that goal.
right, but I think your goal.
And like, what makes me happy, it's that process.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
The way that, I think the best way to say it, and I like Formula One, right?
Yeah.
In Formula One, the drivers get till age 35 to age 40,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to retire.
Yeah,
It's like a
any
thing.
sport, pretty much.
Yeah, like any other sport. In NASCAR, you get to 45, which is kind of cool. Maybe 45 to 50, depending on
How good you
how
are.
good you are. And you get to retire. And what I feel like what these drivers want to do is they want to keep driving. It's just that now they're older. Reflexes
Right.
go down. They also are at another stage in their life where like they want to focus on families or something else. And they have to stop driving. They have to dedicate themselves to something else. I don't want to get to that point in my life. I don't want to have to stop playing the game.
Well, you don't have to stop. I'm just thinking. Like, I understand everything. Like, the whole, like, progress thing is something that I actually kind of probably recently started to get. That, like, I'm valuing more the progression of my life rather than the results.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like you're setting the goal very low.
A very low goal or a very high goal?
like I'm saying that the goal is a good one, but to put it at the age you put it at,
Yeah.
seems like you're playing too long of a game.
So this is the thing. I want to do it the most conservative way. The most conservative way would be assuming my salary does not change. Right? Assuming that I don't have a second, third, or fourth, or whatever, another stream of income.
Right.
Just the one. Right? Assuming no bonuses, no nothing. Assuming that I save the way that I'm saving right now. I could change that.
Okay.
Is the most conservative way. I'll get there by 80 years of age. Right? Nothing changes. Now, I don't think that's very realistic because I believe that as I grow and as I come of age and I start getting more experience, I'll start getting more streams of income.
Right.
That will accelerate that process. My salary will increase. That will also accelerate that process. So as soon as I reach my savings goal, I'll probably start investing more and try to accelerate that process. So that 80 years of age will slowly, as my life goes on, will become 75, 70, 65, 60, until I could retire. But I want to set it at the highest point possible, knowing that it's not an aggressive goal. Because I don't want to be aggressive about thinking like, oh yeah, I could get there by 50. But like all these things have to miraculously be right, and assuming that my salary is gonna increase. What if it never increases? Assuming that I'll get a second stream of income. What if I don't?
Well, I mean, it's very safe and conservative, so I get that. But isn't that also a little bit of something that might be holding you back a little? Like maybe it's making you take safer decisions where you maybe should be risking some stuff more?
Maybe. There's some things that I have short-term goals, mid-term goals, long-term goals. The short-term goal would be to reach my savings goal. I wanna have a certain amount of savings. As soon as I do that, then financially I'll start doing something else.
Okay.
I don't wanna risk. So I've already left 2 jobs, Sony Music, one of them, and I left with a certain amount of savings.
Yeah.
Right? Those savings went, they lasted me 10 months to 12 months.
Yeah.
Before I ran out of them. Right? Then I went to Verizon. In Verizon I had no savings.
Yeah. Tough job.
But pretty much all the money that I got from Sony, I was able to live through the Verizon era with that money, with the savings.
Yeah.
And after I left that, I know now the amount of savings that I need to have in order to live comfortably for about a year if I want to be as comfortable as possible. Maybe I can do it for 6 months or for 3 months. I don't have to reach a year. But I always try to do the most conservative approach.
Right.
In case of if anything happens. I could be more aggressive. If things are going well, I could keep it conservative. Or no, if things are going well, I could make some risks. If things are going I could keep it conservative.
Okay.
So I'm doing everything as conservative as I can until I see opportunities to risk stuff. And then I could start adjusting. But I want to see what the slowest, more methodical, mathematical approach would be. Assuming no changes, assuming nothing. Because making those assumptions without knowing that there will be certainties, it's it'll mess me up.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's just, I guess it's just the way you phrased it made it sound like, so I'm gonna get there when I'm 80.
Oh, I'll get there I know that for a fact I'll get to that goal when I'm 80.
Right.
Or at latest at the age of 80.
Yeah, I guess that's...
Yeah. But I know that I'm gonna get there
probably earlier.
probably earlier. But in the most conservative approach, now I have a long-term goal to 80 years of age, and I can live my life every single day and play the game every single day. And if I'm a pilot, if I'm a driver, then I drive the car every single day until the age of 80 and enjoy it.
But that's
because
just,
I enjoy that.
That's just one of your goals, right? It's not like your only goal.
Well, my goal is to become financially independent, and I want to have like, I don't know, 10,000, 12,000 a month life.
Right, but this is like money-wise.
Yeah, money-wise. I mean, how would I like to make that money? I don't know. I like Dungeons and Dragons. I like selling.
Right, but so like what I'm trying to get at is, so is that the most important goal? Like, is it not more, like, don't you think, shouldn't your goal be, for example, like, I wanna, I don't know, have a family when I'm that age, or like, and have the money to support them, which, you know, would tie into that, or maybe it's like, I wanna be
so see,
in this career because that's what I enjoy doing. Like, why is that not your goal? Why is it just the salary?
I know money-wise what I need in order to be financially independent.
Right.
That's my goal. Financial freedom. How I get there is the complicated part. It's like, what is my career going to be? Well, I like sales.
Okay.
So it's probably going to have to do something with sales. I want to have another stream of income where, like, I have a business. Mm-hmm. Like a small business could be something online that I can sell certain things. I like the whole buying cheap, selling low kind of thing, right?
It's always fun.
Buying cheap, selling high is what I mean.
Buying low, selling high. I understand what you mean.
I like the stock market, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of things that I want to do, and I like Dungeons and Dragons.
But those things are like all there just to help you get to the goal,
no,
right?
If I could get to my goal by only doing those things, that would be the ideal scenario. The idea is figuring out how to do all those things to get there. I would like to have my own business, 100% just mine.
Right, but like I guess I'm trying to ask is, like, is being financially independent more important than you doing all those stuff? Like, if, for example, I was to tell you, like,
if I don't enjoy it, then it's rough, because then I'm gonna not enjoy my entire life until I get 80 years of age and then enjoy it, and then I don't think that's very smart, because then if I'm gonna live to 100, pretty much I spent 80% of my life hating something.
Right, but your goal was to get there, right?
Yeah, but I wanna be happy while trying to get there. Now, if I'm at a miserable job currently, that's not happening.
Right.
If I'm at a place where it's like eating shit, and then it's definitely not worth the sacrifice to get there, then I'll probably adjust and calibrate. Currently, I'm at a point where, like, it may seem like I'm eating shit. It may seem that, like,
I'm not saying that.
No, I know you're not, but I think for others, they're like, oh, he's just working so hard and he's doing all these things, and then he wakes up at this time, or he works out, and then he's like doing all these things, and it may seem crazy.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun doing it. So I'm playing it for the long term, for the mastery of it.
I guess that's true.
To, like, show that every single day that, like, he's doing that, and, like, I don't know, I enjoy that feeling.
Yeah, I think it's just the way because the way you said it was like, I feel like your goal is tied down to the financial independent part.
Mm-hmm.
Where for example, for me, I'm more focused on just, like, what I would get done in my life. So, like, one of my large goals would be like, oh, I want to have a book published. I want to have these pieces of work that I worked on like be out there. Like, to me, I'm more focused on that kind of. Yeah, we'll cut it, so don't worry. I'm more focused on like the products that I want to make, the things that I want to make, and I'm never really thinking about the money. So I don't know. I think I was asking you, maybe you were too attached to the idea of just making the financial independent goal without focusing about like the things you want to get done to get there.
Well, I want to get the podcast done.
Right.
I was thinking about doing blogs. I was thinking about, I don't know, doing the Dungeons and Dragons channel. I was thinking about doing the other stream of income. So there's a couple of things that I like and that I want to try. And they're all like get me there. But obviously, I still have to have a job and have a source of income to move that needle forward.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, I do my current job, which I like and I enjoy.
Yeah.
And in the free time, as much as I can, I do this. So we do this podcast. And I try to push always the needle forward on the other things that can help me get there. But like, it's the stuff that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, the goal is to get to financial freedom. I don't care if it's 80 years of age or 100 years of age. Maybe I'll spend my whole life trying to get there and I'll never get there. But the whole time I was happy doing it. So like, to me, getting to the goal is not the important part. To me, working on the goal is what I enjoy the most.
Yeah. I mean, I get that completely. I was just more wondering, is like, if you care about how you're working to get there. Because it's just...
Yeah. I mean, I want to work real hard to get there. And then... And I enjoy working really hard. And I enjoy showing others that I'm working really hard.
I know.
Even if I never get to the goal, just the fact that I showed others that I was working really hard is what I enjoy.
I mean, that's what motivates you.
It's just I enjoy that. And I don't know, maybe it's a little narcissistic or maybe a little selfish or maybe a little whatever, but I enjoy it. And I don't think I'm doing anybody any harm.
I don't think that's it.
So yeah, that's it. That's the long term.
Alright.
That's a long podcast. We'll keep it short for the next time, but that was Conversations with My Little Bro. Where I have conversations with my little bro. See you.
Bye.